Welcome back to another YouTube video of VFX. If you haven't subscribed, please do. If you haven't watched the previous video, please do. Last week I broke down Euro GBP and the trade hit take profit. Everybody was happy, so it's just really nice to see the community building from the trades that I break down. So this week we are doing Gbpusd, mainly because of the way it's been moving, and we're coming to a zone where it's really important. So just stay tuned, make sure you do subscribe, repost, and watch till the end. Now, as you know, I like to start from the 4-hour time frame, but today I want to start on the daily time frame, mainly because of the situation of where we are right now, especially with GU, right? So we've gotten to a point where a zone where it's very important and these chances of reversal, right? So you could look to swing this trade up to the top of this high, but as I start to break it down, you'll see why I want to break down this pair this week, right? So let's start from the higher time frame as we usually do. This is the daily. Now we mark out the swing points as we usually do. There you go. So the main reason why I wanted to break down this pair is because where we are right now, this zone over here, right? And then the fact that, first let's just do the market structure mapping so everybody can get a sense of what I'm saying and we understand where we're going with this chart work. Clean cuts finish. This is a break of structure. This is a BOS as well, right? And then we could classify this as a change of character too, because of what price did. Obviously, change of character happened initially on the top over here, but just for reference, we'll just add it over here. We know this is a change of character. I'll mark it out just for sake's purpose. Okay, yeah, cool cut finish, right? So now, before we even go into what's happening here in the current price action, right, I just want to get to the point where I am right now in terms of where price is, right? So as you can clearly see right over here, this zone over here is mainly so important because it's a low. We've broken this low, so obviously we're probably targeting these lows, looking to either break them or reverse off of them, right? So the nice thing about this low also that I've realized is that it purged liquidity before it pushed up, right? Obviously we all know what we look for in terms of like entries, right? So it doesn't really matter even if it's on the daily time frame or the 4-hour time frame or the 15-minute, like it's still the same reasons that we look for, right? Firstly, there's a purge of liquidity over here, as we can clearly see. Number two, this purge of liquidity resulted in this break of structure and the higher time frame break of structure too, so that's looking pretty nice as well. So this is a very good zone to look into taking trades. So obviously I would mark out this this order block over here. Hence why I'm saying this zone is very important, especially the way we're also approaching the zone too, right? So I just mark out the zone. We'll even classify this as a daily POI, just for reference sake. Lean cut finish, daily POI. So we've gotten to this point. This is where I'm interested in, right? So we can already see that price has been coming down. Let's go on the 4-hour time frame. This is where you can use Fibonacci to kind of understand what the market has been doing, right? So as you can clearly see, for those who trade patterns, this is called a rising what do they call it? A falling wedge. I call it a falling wedge. So a falling wedge is basically a pattern where, if I could break it down, price starts coming down very correctively just to break out of the structure, right? It looks something similar to this. We put this one over here, and then we put something similar to this, right? It's a falling wedge. Usually like POIs that come to this point you could learn to execute, and it's 1 2 3 confirmational touch, right? Okay, cool. We move away from that situation. So the main reason why I'm also very interested in the way it's been moving is because if we could highlight this like that and also like that, we are at a zone where price could look into reversing, right? Let's remove these Fibonacci's now. So let's see how price has been moving, right? So we'll mark out structure, especially over here, looking closer into price more than anything else, right? So we have these highs over here. We'll start from this point here and here. The break of structure happened. Price continued to move down. We could classify this as a high. We could classify this as a low, right? And then reference point, this is a break of structure, right? Simple cut finish, BOS. This is where it derived from. It came down, fell down over here, created this high. It came to mitigate this point. I remember when I was breaking it down not so long ago, this is a point of reference where we were using to see how it is, and I mentioned that it purged liquidity before it went lower. So it mitigated this order block, cool cut finish. We see a break of structure over here. I guess we could classify this as a break of structure. Let me do it like this. This is a break of structure. or we could even put it over here. It looks way more cleaner for me personally. Break of structure. So now, right, obviously there's different ways you could execute this trade, right? But for now, I'm more so interested in the way price is going to move, especially during Monday or Tuesday, because I'm recording this on Saturday. Today is the 16th of September, right? So it's on a Saturday. We'll see how price moves as the week starts. But main point is that you could catch reversals, especially with the way price has been moving over here, right? Here's the order block that we've marked. This is the daily PR. So this is a place of high confluence, right? So I would be waiting for any change of character. So something similar to this. Let me just show you, just for reference, right? So price could come in over here, right? Make a high, make a low, sweep this low, break this high, right? And then obviously we'll take the Fibonacci from this point over here, this point over here, right? We'll be looking into executing right around these points, right? Hopefully it shows right around these points. We remove this thing, and then obviously aim for the higher time frame structure, right? Obviously with the Fibonacci, with Falcon, we would target these highs mainly because it's the 90% rule. Let me show you. Price is falling all the way down here. Price is falling all the way down here, right? So yeah, this is something that I could see happening as the week progresses, especially on GU, right? And this week I want to add an extra in what do we call it, a confluence, right? Because sometimes looking at price in isolation doesn't really help, right? Yes, we understand that we had a daily POI. Yes, we understand that we're waiting for some sort of change of character. Let's just go on the daily time frame. Let's just go on the 1 hour time frame. On the 1 hour time frame, right? So obviously what I'm saying is, what we're anticipating is that price will come into the zone, right? Form a low, go all the way up, purge the liquidity, come back, break this high, come into this zone over here, and then we could look into going to target this POI over here, right? Obviously this point has been mitigated, right? There is liquidity resting over here, there is liquidity resting over here. So there's so many things that could happen, especially with GU, right? It could either go up just to mitigate to mitigate this OB that I already see over here, this OB over here, just to mitigate this point, just to come and break these lows and further decrease and decline, right? So one thing I was mentioning that I wanted to add was the dollar index, right? So we analyze the dollar index to understand, because we're trading a pair, the GU against the dollar, the British pound against the dollar. So we need to kind of understand what is the dollar doing, so it makes sense in terms of our analysis, right? So I'll remove all my analysis over here. We start from the tippity top from the bottom. This is on the daily time frame. I like to analyze the especially the dollar index, because I don't trade it. It's mainly like just to get an extra confluence, a sense of understanding of what the dollar's trying to do and the way the dollar's trying to go, right? So obviously we can already see this is the high that it has made. This is 2022 September, right? And we've gotten to this point over here where we have touched lows of May 2022. We've probably broken them too. Let me click it out. Yeah, we've probably broken them too, but we've been playing around this point, right? So the nice thing about this, we've already broken out and broken back inside. So showing that the dollar doesn't really want to go lower than this point and is planning on skyrocketing higher and higher, right? So I'll remove this point, and then now I'll go deeper into what I'm seeing, right? So obviously we market structure. This is a high, this is a high, this is a low, this is a high, this is a low, this is a high, this is a correction. So I wouldn't necessarily classify it, but for reference sake, we'll just mark out these points as two to understand, right? So let's do market structure. This point over here, there was really nothing much happening. Price came. We would classify this as a break of structure, but the fact that it came back up as much as it is, it didn't really do anything. I could classify it as a purge of liquidity personally, right? So we would classify this as a purge of liquidity over here. Clean card finish, a purge of liquidity, looking clean. And then we come to this point over here. I guess we could call this a break of structure, mainly because we are in a downtrend. Like, look at this. Like, this is a downtrend. Price already had, when price broke this trend line or broke this high, it already it gives us signs that the price is trying to move more like bullish. The change of the people in the market have already changed, and the dollar might be gaining more strength. Understandable, because the breaks and everything is happening. I mean, the people are anticipating that the currency might fall. But as the wise investor might say, what Warren Buffett said is that when people are fearful, that's the time you're supposed to be like greedy. And when people are greedy, that's the worst time to be fearful. So I think it's a very good time to be trading, especially now with everything that's happening. If the dollar does dump, we will, as traders, find ways to capitalize on those opportunities. And if the dollar does rise, then obviously we will find ways to capitalize as well, right? So, this will classify this as a change of character. Obviously, there's a change of character, internal change of character that happened on the lower time frames. But right now, we're trying to look at where price is currently, right? Going to the 4-hour time frame, we don't trade this pair. We're just trying to understand where it's trying to go, right? So this is a high it created. This is a high it created. Then we have a BOS over here. Clean cut finish. We mark it out BOS. Then price continued to do its thing. It kind of trickled in and out over here. We could classify this as a purge of liquidity. But the way it moved up wasn't really impulsive. So I wouldn't necessarily care about the purge of liquidity as of yet. This is a high that it created as well. So we could mark this out as like this. A high and a low. As you can clearly see, guys, I'm mainly marking out these things so you can understand what is internal structure and what is the swing structure, right? So cool. This is a BOS once again, right? BOS, that's clean cut finish. Now we're looking where we are right now, right? The dollar has impulsively moved up and broken these highs, right? Well, we could classify this high over here as a break initially, or a change of character initially, because it has broken over here, right? But now we're looking at it as a swing point, because we're not trying to trade this pair. We're just understand where it's trying to go, right? Us trading the strategy, we know we're anticipating that price will probably come into this zone over here, over to this point, right? So we'll probably go to the 1 hour time frame to kind of see what the chart is trying to tell us, right? So as much as it is over here, this is what the Fibonacci is telling us, that this is a zone where we might be interested in executing. I see an order block over here, but we'll just highlight what it's saying over here. We move this Fibonacci, right? So as you can clearly see, it's telling us that this is the point where price is going to come back. And the nice thing about this thing is you can already see there's a fair value gap to, if I could probably do it like this to, okay, that's too far back, but if I could probably do it like this, is a zone where everything like makes sense, right? Like this is a zone where it's been rejecting, right? So we could probably see the dollar coming back in over here, tapping on over here. Let's use the Fibonacci to kind of tell us where we could be looking in terms of swinging. Like this is a swing situation, right? So this low over here, this is where it marked out. So we could be looking onto executing over to this point, right? We move over this, and then we go into the daily time frame to see what it's telling us. So in the daily time frame, it's telling us this point over here. This point over here is relatively around this order block over here. Simple, you see what I mean? So, and don't forget, there is some sort of liquidity risking over here. People have left their stop losses over here, so we could see price pushing up and mitigating those, or taking them out in terms of moving back down. But that's what I'm clearly seeing. Then we're gonna go back to GU and kind of piece everything together, puzzle everything back together, right? The nice thing about GU, right, I want to show you too, is that the cleanest with the daily POI, as much as it is, why I'm saying it's mainly a thing. Look at this. Already now, as you can clearly see, price has been playing around this area. Price came here, rejected. Price came back up here, didn't get a chance to reject, came up here. Came back up here, kind of broke it, came back down here. Came back down over here. Obviously, this POI thing is, but like it's playing around this area. Like, look, rejection. Came up here, rejection. Even the way it closed in the week before. So, I think just waiting as much as it is to see more confidence as much as it is, like especially with GU, if you can catch this trade right on the higher time frame and understanding the situation, good luck to you. But like as much as it is, I feel like for now, just wait for price to kind of do this. Price comes into the thing, creates a low, come back up, create this thing. So we need some sort of a BOS or what? A purge of liquidity, right? A purge of liquidity, and then what as we call it, a quick move, an impulsive move like this to show that there's smart money coming in. And that smart money must do what? Break the structure. There should be a break of structure too over here. There's a break of structure. Then obviously this is where we're looking to execute. Now we have the backing of the daily time frame. So like when you get to a point where you're trading in a zone that's very like high confluence, like I feel like don't try to push getting sniper entries, right? Understand that you are at a very good zone, and whatever trade you take here is highly probable, right? So allow your stop loss to breathe. Understand that it's not even a situation of FOMO. Understanding that you're at a very good zone of executing. This is a very good investment place. So you don't want price to come into the zone, you analyze properly just for your stop loss to be choke price action, right? And then you get taken out for you get taken out and price moves to your desired place. You get what I mean? So I think for now, just being patient, understanding that the market moves in certain ways. And already, this is the nice thing about weekly market breakdowns, is that you understand that, like, when you look at the chart like this, right, and you already imagine what you want to see, that's what you're waiting for. If you don't see that, you don't trade. Like, literally, if I don't see this as Monday, Tuesday comes along, I don't trade. You get what I mean? So I liked the fact that I actually introduced the dollar index as well. Please comment down below, guys. Please comment and tell me what more content you want to see. Suggest pairs that you want me to break down, because I only trade 3 pairs. So now I'm only playing around those 3 pairs because I'm comfortable. I know how to predict them. And anything I come and present to you guys over here, I know it's backed up with my back testing situation, you know. Now, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you do. Check out my TikTok, check out my Instagram. I post more and more content there, like more trades. It's more interactive as much as it is. So you just check that out. And if you enjoyed these types of videos, please just comment, like, you know, repost on your Instagram as much as it is. Thank you for the love, guys. It's really appreciative. But for this week, I'm looking at GU. It's a very good thing. DM me if you're still confused about the situation that I've just presented over here. And as the week goes on, I'll just notify you guys on Instagram and how the trade is going and if I'm gonna take any setups. You get what I mean? But other than that, it's Mr. Flair signing out. Thank you for another week.